Hi, you are back with us at Score Connect, and I am here with Jacqui Hayes, the founder and CEO of Crayons and Marketers here in Nashville. Jacqui, before the break, we were just chatting about the love messaging, the wooing and the love language of marketing, which is really funny. We actually joke that when we're developing prospective clients, we're dating, and then we need to decide if that's going to work out before we sign that long-term contract and get married. Right? It's a big commitment. Yeah. So one of the things that I think a lot of people have trouble with when they're marketing is telling the story of themselves and their business from an outside perspective. So instead of saying, here's a list of all the things we do and being more transactional, framing that brand message in a way that is more romantic, if you will, and a little bit more appealing. How do you suggest that people develop that brand message for themselves?
Well, I think it's just important to remember the basics. People do business with who they like, and so it's hard to like a brand. I mean, even with the best brands, if you think about the brands, it's probably somebody or something, some association that really kind of brought that in. And so depending on your business, because some businesses are truly transactional, so you really have to know your business. But if you're after a relationship, you have to connect with your audience in a very personal way, telling those personal stories, featuring the staff. It's not just about you, the individual. Even if you are a sole entrepreneur, you know, really focus on some the other facets of who you are as a business. You know,
like why are you doing this rather than just a list of things you're doing?
Why are you doing that? But for the simple fact that more than likely somebody else is doing the work that you do. You know, me and you do the same exact thing. Now,
us and about like 100 other firms in Nashville, by the way.
And so, I mean, I think it's more marketing companies here than probably anything. And so, but the difference is some clients are going to resonate with our brand stories. Some clients are going to resonate with yours and the other amazing marketing companies that are in Nashville, and that's okay. But if you don't put the story out there, they don't have a story to connect with. And so they have to understand, okay, well, we know about Crayons and Marketers. They really lean into cultural marketing, and so we're going to talk about them. Jacqui is pretty personable. She talks about Cindy. She talks about Terry. She talks about Brandon, you know, and so when they get into our firm, we're no different. The same person you meet or the same brand you meet online is who you meet when you meet us in person. When you stop by our office, we're no different. So we want our brand story to be like a hug, like, hey, we're loving on you right now. We love you. We're just as invested in your success as a business as you are, and hopefully that comes through in our marketing. It comes through in the stories that we tell for our clients. That comes through in the stories that we tell about our firm. And so you really want to humanize your business, and I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss. They get so busy on marketing, and they want to put it on autopilot, right? It's like, hey, let's just go ahead and schedule out the whole month and be finished. I'm like, well, some of that is good, but the problem with that is life happens, and so you don't want to have scheduled social media post goes out and then the queen dies, and then you have a social media post talking about something maybe not as important on that day. And so you never want to just be plugged, take yourself out of it. You have to stay plugged in, have to tell the stories, have to stay relevant, have to stay personable in order to, because people are looking for relationships. I think after, especially after 2020, the things that we've learned, the things that changed in our lives, many of those days, people want relationship. They have to know that you're real, that you're authentic, that you care, that you are thinking about something more than just profits. And so that's part of your story and getting that out there. And if you haven't found what that is yet, you really should spend some time thinking about what value do we bring to the world outside of our products and services. Because if that's what you're relying on, people can go get that from somewhere else.
You become a commodity rather than a relationship, or you're bringing value.
Transactional again, because again, if you're just seen as your product or your service, if one thing goes wrong, people can just like, okay, you're replaceable, but it's hard to replace a relationship.
So one of the things that we have in our industry, and this is something that we're challenged with when we have prospects come to my company Piccolo, is that they'll come and they'll say, I need, let's say for example, search engine optimization. And we'll say, we can help with that. And they'll say, okay, well, I'm not going to use names, but like a very large online company can do it for $250 a month. And we're like, ooh.
I almost know who you're talking about.
And you are, I'm sure you do, right? But it's like, but that's the thing, right? Is that like, what kind of quality of service are you going to get for that when I can tell you that my individual team of curated experts and people are going to do it, but it's going to be more money than that. And so like you have to have those conversations of, are you looking for the commodity option or are you looking for the quality in the relationship? And I think that that's interesting because what it does is it makes you as a business owner have to qualify your leads and say, not all business is good business. It's not all good business for you. Sometimes you have to say, hey, we were talking earlier, this is the kind of business I want, and one new client at a time, I'm going to pick up what is really relevant. Before we run out of time, though, I do have a question for you about the activities of marketing. So we've got this really great message. You know, we know that we need to market our new business. A lot of our SCORE clients are challenged with what you mentioned. They're working all the time. They have so much going on and they're going, when am I going to have time to post on all the social media and create the email blasts and learn how to do search engine optimization and blogs and video and things? As people are getting started, where do you recommend they focus some of that energy so that even if it's a small amount of time and money, it's well invested?
Right, and so people, just had this the other day, they automatically want to get into a social media campaign. I'm like, well, wait, that's who are you targeting? Who is your market? What's your strategy? I mean, what's your business objectives? What are you trying to achieve? Your marketing plan should follow along with your business plan because your marketing is there to support your business plan to help you get to those business objectives that you've set. And so if you have said objective in your business plan, the question you should be asking yourself is, what one thing can I do to get to that goal? You can't do all the things. Even a larger firm, we can't do all the things. There are plenty of things. I'd love to get a TikTok whole thing going, but you know,
it takes so much time.
I just know how much time that takes, and so now that doesn't mean we don't do it for a client, but do we have time to do it for ourselves?
Right.
And so you have to ask yourself, what is that one thing that would make the most impact for my business? That could be social media, that could be email, that could be in-person activations, that could be going door to door, that could be going to networking events, because I think that people get into a habit and they get lazy with marketing, right? And so I say it very carefully, but it's just true.
It's hard to be consistent though, because
I think
it gets kind of
back into they want to do things that they can do from their desk.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not the fastest way to get to the result that you want to get to. You may have to get from behind your desk and get up there and get on the street and do some door to door or whatever that looks like.
Selling
in today's world.
Can be scary.
Selling can be scary. But you have to understand, based off of your business plan and that one thing you need to accomplish this quarter, this year, or whatever the length of time is, what is the most impactful activity that could be? It could be social, it could be email, whatever it is. That's what you want to do. And if you want to maintain your awareness, which all of us as business owners are tasked with doing, pick one social media channel just to have that broad awareness, because more than likely your clients will Google you. They're going to see what pulls up, and you want to have an online presence that pops up. So you want to have a website. Doesn't have to be an expensive one. Get one from Wix. Pick one social media channel that you know you can manage, and then get out there and do that one sales or marketing activity that will drive the business.
Yeah. No, that's really good information to help hone it down. And I think one of the things that you mentioned, people kind of get bored with marketing. The challenge there becomes consistency. We know a lot of our SCORE clients are like, oh my gosh, I'm happy to do social media when I'm in the moment or something's inspiring, but then they get kind of pulled away to running their business or dealing with employees or trying to sell.
Well, they realize how much work social media really is.
Yes.
And that's such an understatement.
And they're like, oh my gosh, it's not as simple as we thought.
It's really pretty hard.
Yeah, well, and especially to be creative and have the romancing, wooing language.
It's the work.
But then what they end up with is inconsistency. So they'll go out and they pioneer and they're like, I'm going to have everything and I'm going to set up all of the social media channels
and they can't maintain
all of the email, and then the blogs. I'm going to start blogging every week, and then it really takes a lot of time. So I think that the consistency is really important, and I appreciate what you're saying about honing in there.
Down.
That's really great.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jacqui.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll be back in just a few moments here. Please join us.